Yeah, it's right because you'd be lucky if you don't insult them, and because it's kind of disrespectful, and they just kind of give you a little freshen up, tune you up a little bit.
I don't know. You got anything more cryptids or
yeah.
UFOs? Mainly UFOs tonight. We need to stay with that.
Yeah, this comes out of Queensland, Australia. It's a person telling about their little abduction thing. It says, about 18 years ago, one night in 2000, I was asleep. I felt myself getting sucked up into space. It was dark and cold. I was going very fast. Then I got sucked into a tube, and I was flowing in this white, really big round room, about 10 stories high, which had like grooves cut out of the walls. I was put in one of them. I don't know how. Then next, I was in another room, like an operation room, with two very tall white alien beings with really big heads. They didn't talk to me yet. I could hear them saying to me, "Don't be afraid." They were examining me. They put something up my nose. Then I was turned over, and they put a thin, long prod into my backside. I was screaming with pain, and I must have passed out. And all of a sudden, I woke up in my bed. My body was still cold when I woke up in fright, and it was summer in Queensland, Australia, which they get really hot down there. And I have never spoken about this until now, and it didn't have very many memories of it until just a couple of days ago. Like all come rushing back to them, but that's just another scenario of these abductions. It is sucked up through in a room. They're doing things to you. It's very painful. And they just tell you, hey, it's not going to hurt or be quiet or something. It's very, very cold, very, I don't know. It's just negative to me.
Well, I sure wouldn't want to be abducted. If I ever have been, I'm not really sure. Ooh, I almost threw that away. Don't want to do that. Do you know a woman in the UK who was big-breasted, got tired of guys looking at her breasts, so she decided to put a hidden camera in her bra, kind of facing up to see how many guys were looking at her breast. And she said she was shocked. And I earlier today looked at the footage of it. 9 out of 10 guys would gawk at her breast. Hey, she tried to make a point.
Well, I don't even know where to go with this, but
I don't think we should on that one.
No, I'm going to leave this one alone. I'm just going to let him say nothing because it's a lose-lose either way.
Okay, an angry mother. Again, this is in the UK. She got really upset with her adult daughter who was living in her house. She takes her daughter to court because the daughter breaks her bed while she was having sex. So her mother decides, okay, well, you're paying for the bed, and sues her daughter.
That just reeks of an episode of Springer Show there, because let's break this down. The daughter's having sex on the mom's bed, and she takes her to court. Oh my goodness, there's so much going on there that I don't even. That's just bizarre. You imagine suing your kid in court for having sex and breaking your bed? I don't even know how.
Well, she was awarded damages for the bed and emotional stress damages.
Wow. Well, you suppose the daughter learned her lesson yet?
Yeah, again, this man decides he's going to teach his girlfriend a lesson because she likes walking home at night in the dark. So he waits in the bushes for his girlfriend to walk by. And then he yells at her and screams and scares her. And she shoots him in the face.
Oh, my goodness. That, what you call really backfiring, and literally backfired on him.
Yeah, I guess he's not here with us anymore. But I guess...
he died.
Yeah, she shot him in the face with a gun.
She wasn't playing.
No, that's probably why she wasn't scared about walking home in the night. Now,
yeah.
I think I found out why you don't have much hair on the top of your head.
You talking about me?
I'm talking about you. They said people who work long hours are far more likely to go bald than somebody who doesn't work a lot of extra hours.
They've got new studies and surveys, I got to tell you, oh, you always hear something bizarre like that every day. You don't know what to believe. I know if you heard that on the internet, it's true. I do know that.
Well, you remember you were talking about the coffee grounds or coffee beans you have to watch out because what did you say about them? They were.
Go ahead.
Go ahead. You need to. You got to set my joke up. Go ahead.
Well, the very expensive ones there's the regular ones have like a quart of it is bugs and wings and stuff. And then there's the very expensive ones that, it has to pass through the monkey first, and then you pick up the nuts from it and make coffee.
Yeah, I'm reading. There's a good chance that your favorite coffee that you drink contains ground up cockroaches.
Yep. Oh, yeah. Guaranteed. Especially because it all comes from 90% probably comes from South America, and, it's tropical. And I've been in tropical areas, and you will just walk out at night, and you'll hear crunching, shine a light down, and that's all you see. And they love coffee and beans. You kidding me? That's probably. And can you imagine a big vat of beans? You know how hard it would be to see a cockroach is about the same color and size. They're just loaded in there. That's scary, isn't it?
Well, I don't know. I certainly wouldn't. I don't know. I don't drink coffee that much. Because I don't want to drink, cockroaches and all that other stuff. But, maybe it gives that coffee that real, bite to it that, people like.
That's the thing.
I just want to say, I knew somebody who worked at a major coffee chain. It starts with an S. Okay? And ends with Bucks. Okay? But I'm not saying the name of the company. So here's the story. They sold their real cheap coffee, by the pound.
Was it like $20 a pound or something?
I don't know. But they also sold the most expensive. It was like $40-some a pound. Well, a friend of mine went in there, and as a practical joke, the guy gave him the cheapest coffee. And he waited for his friend to come back because he was going to refund the difference. It was a gag he was pulling on this guy. The guy came back and said it was his best coffee he ever had. The guy couldn't tell the difference between the cheap coffee or the expensive coffee.
I don't know how I'm not a coffee drinker. I might drink 2-3 cups in a whole year's time, but I don't know how you would tell the difference. I mean, really, does one taste a lot better, or does it just have a different taste?
I don't know.
I don't either.
I grew up in drinking, Denny's coffee. To me, it's like the best coffee in the world. It's smooth and it goes down. But when you go to some of these other places, you drink the coffee and it's bitter and it has a real bitter taste to it. But people seem to like that. I don't know. That's why I drink tea.
Yeah, I don't know either. And then when I do drink those 2-3 cups, it's basically half milk and half sugar. So it's more sugar and milk than coffee. So I'm not I'm a bad one to tell good ones from bad ones. I just don't know about coffee.
Well, a man catches a huge crocodile barehanded, only using a towel. The bad news is the crocodile bit his penis off.
Oh, I knew there was something going. Listen, that's all bad when that happens, because when a crocodile bobbits your butt, you got to ask yourself, was it worth it? Why did I do this? What was I getting out of this? Was there a profit in it? And there's a chance that you're going to get bobbits. Jeez,
I have no idea, but this was in Florida.
I should have knew that. Oh, they're abusing them gators down there. They're getting them drunk. They're doing other things to them, and now they're getting a revenge. So I guess he won't do that no more.
I guess not. I mean, I don't know. It's pretty bad when I have read the wacky news for the last month. And I tell you what, we need more wacky news coming on the internet, because I've pretty much consumed everything. You know that. Now I'm getting down to alligators biting off a guy's penis. I mean, that's getting bad.
It's getting down there at the bottom, isn't it? Well, let me tell you something about. Do you remember the incident in Manitoba, Canada, the Falcon Lake incident in 1967?
Yes.
Yeah, the guy was out. I think he was prospecting or something. He was out in this field, and he seen this craft, and he went up to it. He watched it for a while, and the door opened, right? And it looked like all one piece. So he goes up to the door, and he's tried to talk to him in like, I don't know, 7, 8 different languages. No answer or nothing. He didn't go in, but he's like yelling through this hatch that opened up. So then the hatch, it shuts real quick. And he said when the hatch opened, it was, he described it like a camera shutter. You know how they do? I know you know how they work.
Uh-huh.
But anyway, yeah, so it shut real quick. And then he was like against some type of exhaust, he said it was. And it like turned on, started up or whatever you want to call it. And when it did, it burned him. It left a bunch of you could see the burn marks, so like little squares all the way down from his chest down to his belly button, like a whole row pattern of them. And they were radiation burns, and it knocked him out. And when he came to and went, got help and stuff, and they were radiation burns, and that he suffered for that for a while. And I honestly think he might have been abducted too, if truth be told. But there's one case right there that, radiation, that stuff puts off. That's another factor people I don't think about how it could affect the environment in many different ways, not to mention people.
Oh, I think it could. I think we could do a lot of damage to the DNA of a person, down the road. Well, I got one more wacky story because our time is running up. A woman had a 5-year relationship with a Boeing 737-800, and it's purely physical.
Oh my goodness! Well,
of course, there's a picture of the woman. Maybe that's all she could get. But I swear to, how can somebody have a relationship with a jet? She was a flight attendant, and she fell in love with the plane physically.
Well, she's getting a lot of frequent flyers. I'll tell you that one. Oh boy, she literally fell in love with the plane. Wow.
Physical. It says physical.
Yeah, I wonder who made the first move. I'm just curious on that one.
Well, I don't think the plane could make a physical move. I mean, what could you do in a relationship being in love with a plane?
And not just a plane. We're talking one of the biggest planes in the world. Like, what part of it is the part that you kiss?
Of course, I can honestly tell you, it really gives a new meaning. I'll take you for a ride.
Yeah, no kidding. Oh my goodness, she takes Mile High Club literally. She probably I think she takes the Grounded Club also.
I don't know, but I tell you what, some better wacky news better come up here shortly because I really, I can't believe people can be this wacky. Do you?
No, that's beyond. Listen, that's there's wacky, but then there's what you call. Maybe might have some kind of mental condition.
I don't know.
Because that's not something you put on your resume. My boyfriend is a 737, and we've been together for 3 months now. We have a lot of frequent flyer miles,
and we get high together every day.
Yeah,
except on my days off.
Oh my goodness! And we're always discriminated against because we're kind of a mixed match and. We have to get extra seating and everything. We go in to eat. It's just crazy.
I know. Aren't people crazy? That's the whole point. People are actually crazy. Anyway, we're going to be back in 2.5 minutes. You're listening to Night Dreams Talk Radio After Dark. Don't forget, at the top of the hour, we got Dave Emmons. He's going to be talking a lot tonight about his abductions and everything else. So make sure you stay tuned for this one.
Started sight.